Hello and welcome to today's lesson where we're looking at the 4 Ps of marketing. Now, the 4 Ps of marketing, also known as the marketing mix, is a tool that can help you offer the right product in the right place, at the right time, and for the right price. It can help you think about the customer-focused choices you have to make when bringing a product to market. So the 4 Ps are product, what is it that you sell, and how does it fulfill your customers' needs? Place, where do you promote and sell your product? Price, how much is your product? And finally, promotion. How do your ideal customers find out about you? So let's take a look at each of the 4 Ps in a bit more detail. Creating a successful marketing mix begins with creating a product or service that fulfills a significant customer need. So customers purchase your product because it satisfies a need or a want. Now, these needs and desires are rarely basic. So for example, a customer may buy a luxury car to fulfill their need for status. Good marketers understand these needs and create and position products to cater to these needs. Now, note that the definition of a product not only refers to the actual good or service you offer, but also to how you package your product. And by packaging, we mean, amongst other things, the features of your product, its unique selling proposition or USP, its branding, packaging, and any guarantee or warranty you offer. Now, product is deliberately the first element of the 4 Ps, and the reason for this is that it's almost impossible to determine any of the other Ps if you haven't clearly defined what your product is. So, for example, how can you set the price of a car if you don't know whether you're building a Mazda or a Ferrari? So the second P is place, and this refers to how and where people will buy your product. You want to make sure that your products are available when and where customers want your products to be available. Place also means making sure that your product is available in the right quantity to ensure that you're able to satisfy demand for your product. Other questions to answer in this element include: what form of transportation will you use to get your product to where you're selling it? And how will you manage inventories? Now, really the key question to answer during this stage is: what is the most appropriate distribution channel for your product or service? Will you sell directly to the customer, as you can see here on the left? If not, how will you get your product to where you are selling it? You can see 2 other options here, both involving one or more intermediaries. Be aware that each middleman or intermediary you recruit to help you sell your product will expect to be paid to perform this role. So the third P is price, and this refers to the price a customer must pay to purchase your product or service. Price is the easiest element of the 4 Ps to manipulate. You can change your price overnight and immediately see an impact on your revenue. Now, determining a price for your product can be complex. Typically, you want to consider 3 variables: cost, so how much your product costs to produce; price, how much you charge customers for your product; and finally, value, how much value your customers get from your product. Where you focus amongst these 3 variables will depend on your business strategy. If your business strategy focuses on cost leadership, then you'll want to minimize your costs and the price you charge. If your business strategy focuses on differentiation, so that is being unique in the marketplace, then you'll want to focus on maximizing the value you provide. The final P is promotion. Promotion aims to persuade customers to buy your product. Now, promotion is concerned with where, when, and how you will advertise your products and services. Examples of promotional channels include billboard advertising, Facebook advertising, radio advertising, and trade show stands. Now, when non-marketers think about marketing, it's often only promotion that they think of as being marketing. If you're not a marketer, it's important to realize that a marketer's brief covers all of the 4 Ps of marketing. Now, promotion is broader than just advertising, as it includes public relations, outreach, and any discounting strategies that you use. If you want to create your own marketing mix and use the 4 Ps of marketing, then you can follow this 6-step process. So step 1 is to align your product or service to serve specific customer needs. Step 2 is to find out where your target audience hangs out or where they shop. Step 3 is to determine a price for your product, taking into account your business strategy and the cost, price, and value variables. Step 4 is to determine your messaging and channels. So what will your advertising messages be and what advertising channels will you use? Step 5 is to check all the pieces fit together. So at this stage, you've set your 4Ps and you're trying to make sure that everything makes sense. And step 6 is to revisit your marketing mix over time. And that could be because customers' behavior changes over time. Maybe your competitors have done something that will cause you to need to change your marketing mix. So to bring everything we've covered together, let's work through an example of using the 4Ps of marketing in practice. For this example, imagine you're creating a course teaching English speakers to speak fluent Spanish. Let's work through each of the 6 steps. So the first step is to align your product to serve specific customer needs. Now, there are hundreds of other Spanish courses out there, so why should someone choose yours? Well, one way to think about this problem is that right now your potential customers are living unhappily on an island where they don't speak Spanish. And what they want to do is get to the island where they do speak Spanish. Now, unfortunately, there are many bridges available to them to get them from one island to the other. So why should they choose your bridge? Crafting your unique selling proposition is all about giving potential customers a reason to cross your bridge rather than your competitors. Your USP boils down to how you slice and dice your product to offer something unique. So ideally, to determine your USP, you should go out into the marketplace and talk with potential customers and get feedback. So assuming you've done this, and for the purposes of this example, then you might come up with USPs like these. Learn the 1,000 most common Spanish words quickly, watch your way to Spanish fluency, which might be appropriate if you've got a video-based course, learn Spanish in just 10 minutes a day, speak like a local in just 3 months. Now, each of these USPs gives potential customers a reason to choose your bridge instead of a competitor's. You can curate a USP even if your product isn't all that different from your competitors. The key is that you slice and dice how you describe your product so that your potential customers perceive a difference. Step 2 is to find out where your target audience shops. So for this example, you identify the following options. Customers could purchase your course directly from your website. You can work with bloggers to promote your course and in return pay them a commission for each sale they make. And finally, you could provide your course on an app. Step 3, you need to determine how much you will charge for your Spanish course. Let's examine the 3 variables. So first we have cost. While your course may have cost a lot to produce, the additional cost or the marginal cost of selling one additional subscription to your course is minimal. In terms of price, then your product strategy is one of differentiation. So you'll be looking to charge a high fee for access to your course. And finally, value. So while the value of speaking a second language is considerable, people are used to paying low monthly amounts to access online language courses. So taking all of that into account, then your pricing options might be something like charge $10 a month for access, or certain features are free forever, but people need to pay to access your premium features. Step 4 is to determine your messaging and channels. So suppose your USP was watch your way to Spanish fluency. You might decide to keep this as your messaging, but add some additional messages to complement it, such as why read a book when you can watch yourself to Spanish fluency, or how about sit back, relax and get fluent in Spanish. In this step, you also decide that your primary channels to attract new customers will be Facebook and Instagram advertising. Step 5 is to check all the pieces fit together. You've now completed all of the 4 Ps, and your completed marketing template will look something like this. And so now it's time to sanity check that everything makes sense. In this example, you're going to do this by running test ads with Facebook. The point of these tests is to determine if people are engaging with your messaging and therefore if they're interested in what you have to offer. Fortunately, for this example, people do engage with these test ads, so you're in a position to launch when you're ready. And finally, step 6 is to revisit your marketing mix over time. Now, you haven't launched yet, so this step isn't relevant to you right now, but you make a note to revisit the 4 Ps later on. So there are several advantages and disadvantages associated with the 4 Ps. In terms of advantages, then it helps you to understand what your product can offer to your customers. It provides a way to build a complete marketing plan that begins by focusing on aligning your product to your customers' needs. It allows you to see the critical components of even the most complex marketing plans on a single page. In terms of disadvantages, then it provides no mechanism to measure the success of your marketing efforts. Also, price is fundamental to the model, but brand building isn't. Now, this focus on price rather than brand can be corrosive to your ultimate profitability. Also, the model is high level and doesn't go into detail. Another point is, while the model can help you put together a marketing plan, the quality of your marketing plan will really be determined by the quality of the people who put your marketing plan together. And finally, it can take a lot of time to put a 4 Ps of marketing plan together. So in summary, the 4 Ps of marketing model is a tool that can help you offer the right product in the right place at the right time and for the right price. The model begins by helping you create a product that your customers actually want to buy, and moves on to help you to determine where to sell your product, how much to charge, and finally, how you will promote your product. So that's it for this lesson. I really hope you enjoyed it, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.